All right, violins, we are back for part 2 of Unfinished Symphony by Franz Schubert. The first part, we talked about measure 1 all the way up to the high F sharp in measure 9. Talking about how to shift and where it is and how that all works. A reminder, as always, when you're playing up high, you want to have your wrist flat and straight and your thumb is relaxed and not squeezing. As you get up high, your thumb might come underneath a little bit like this as you go higher and higher. Make sure your elbow's tucked under, and when you go up, you might have to bend your wrist some to play up high. So it's okay for your elbow to come kind of to your body and underneath your instrument. So I'm going underneath the instrument this way and towards my body this way. My elbow is getting closer to me. My hand comes up. Notice my instrument's still straight, and I'm not holding it with my left hand. I can just move freely around the instrument, okay? Curved fingers is really important. Can you see how my fingers are curved and what I'm doing? So I often play things down low so I know what they sound like, and then I play them up high. So I'm going to talk about the notes first and that process of listening and understanding what something sounds like. Because when you're playing up high, and honestly when you're playing always on your instrument, you could put your first finger anywhere. And I could say play first finger, but it could be totally wrong. You know that it's right because you're listening in your head and you know what it's supposed to sound like. And that's what allows you to be successful. So this is an F sharp to an F sharp. So I'm going to play first finger F sharp on the E string, and then second finger F sharp on the D string. And then there's an A after that. And then B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. So it's kind of like a scale. That's really kind of a G scale in its own way, or a D scale is maybe closer because it has a C sharp in there, but it's a scale. So again, high F sharp, low F sharp. And then up the scale starting on an A. And then the rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, out of 1, all in once. You go on the and of 3, you go up to 1. So 1, 2, 3, and out of 1, you go up those 4 notes quickly. So if I do that in rhythm, high F sharp, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so I just go right up. And I shouldn't have repeated the A. It really starts on a first finger. So again, one more time. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's really how that goes. Okay? So now, talking about how to play those notes up high. F sharp, I'm going to find F sharp on the E string. Know what it sounds like, and then slide fourth finger up till it sounds the same, but an octave higher. So here's low F sharp, high F sharp, and then I'm going to slide out. There's my high F sharp. Now, this is all going to be in one pattern right here. So 4 is up on the F sharp, 1 on the A string is an F sharp here, 2, a half step above it is a G, 3 is an A, 4 is a B. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm trying to make a half step between 1 and 2, a whole step between 2 and 3, and a whole step between 3 and 4, because that's the spacing of it. 1 F sharp, 2 G, 3 A, 4 B. If I move it over to the E string, then I have 1 on C sharp, low 2, half step on D, 3 on E, and whole step to 4. So again, you see half step, whole step, whole step. And that's what's going to get the right kind of scale going. So I'm going to play that high F sharp again. I know I'm correct. There's F sharp. F sharp down low, 1. All right, and then this is not exactly what's on the page, but I'm going to go up the scale to practice my finger spacings. Does it sound like a scale, kind of? Low 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm practicing, are my fingers in the correct spot? Now, the actual notes that we have starting in measure 9 is fourth finger F sharp, first finger F sharp low, then third finger A, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's kind of what I have. And again, that rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ba-da-da-da-dum, 2, 3. So if I play those notes, here's 4, 1, 2, 3. Third finger, 3, 2, 3. And I've got to hold that high fourth finger for quite a while. I'm going down, up, all the way up. So I'm going to do that again. Ready and go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Now, the higher you go with your fingers, the closer your bow needs to be to the bridge for you to make a good sound. I also have to use a lot of bow up high to get a good sound. So don't be afraid to use a lot of bow and to get it close to the bridge. You'll sound much better if you do. All right? Now, hopefully that all makes sense. Now look at the next line down, the next measure. It says 9, 10, 11, measure 12. The next note is an E sharp. I'll say these notes again. Up there, 4 fingers on an F sharp, 3 was a whole step away on E, 2 was a whole step away on D, and 1 was a half step away on C sharp. So if I want E sharp, I have to move 3 closer. I go from here up. Now it's a tiny little bit of movement because it's such a small space, but I move my 3 up so it's next to my 4. So I'm going to play that high 4th finger again. And I'm going to make high 3 touch. There's the E sharp. Okay, so when I'm done with... Then I do a high 3. And then I have 3rd position, 2nd finger. So 3rd position is if, here's 1st position, 3rd finger on the E string is on a A. I shift up and put 1 there. So 1's on an A, 2's on a B, high 3 C sharp, low 4 D with this key signature. So I'm shifting back to 2, and I'm going to go 2, 3, 4 in that position, which should sound like this. Two, 3, 4. Again, 2's on a B, whole step to 3, half step to 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay? So before we go further, I'm going to play each note and hold them and explain them again. And then the rest gets a little bit easier until the end because it's more 1st position. But again, that high F sharp back to measure 9. 1's on F sharp. There's that high F sharp. So F sharp, high. Then 1 on the A string without shifting. F sharp. 3 is the A. And then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I move 3 high for the E sharp. Shift back to 2nd finger on the B, 3rd position. High 3, 4. And then I shift back to 1st position on a 1. 3rd finger, D. Open E, 1, 2, 3, 4. High 3 for A sharp. Open, 1, 2, and instead of playing open E, I have a 1 there, and I shift up to 4th position and put 1 on the A string. And I'm doing this because I want to end on a 4th finger E. So if I shift up and put 1 on the A string where 4th finger E is, I'm in 4th position because that's the 4th note above open A. We have A, we have B, we have C, we have, the B is the 1st note above, C, D, and E. The 4th note above open A is E. So if I have 1st finger on an E, I'm in 4th position. So 1 on the E, and my 4th finger is on a high E, which is our last note of the whole thing. And I can do again 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like before, all in one position. So if I shift up after playing 2nd finger G, 3 measures before the end, I can shift up and put a 1 on the E, 3rd finger is an A, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's all right there. And I don't have to shift in the middle of a fast. Like, it's kind of hard to shift if you are, that's hard to do in the middle of something fast. So I shift during the longer notes, really listen to make sure I'm in tune, place, and then I can just move my fingers very quickly in one position. So that's the fingering that I would do. And it's hard to do. You should listen to this a lot. A professional orchestra doing this, they're going to go faster than I am, a lot faster. But it gives you an idea of what it should sound like. And then you should be able to sing that in your head and make your left hand fingers match what you're hearing, okay? So I'm going to play from measure 9 to the very end of this, all right? And just listen and follow along, okay? Listen and follow along. So here's the F sharp. I find that note. So here you go. Ready? 2, 3. 3rd finger. 2, 3. 2, 3, high 3, shift. 1st finger, 1st position. 2, 3, 2, 3, high 3, open. shift, third finger, 2, 3, and then there's a tremolo back and forth quickly on the last note. So I do tremolo there, okay? So that gives you an idea of measure 9 to the end, a very slow detailing of how I play the notes and the fingerings that I've given you. I'm now going to play for you very, very slowly this entire excerpt. I'm going to count to 3 while I do it so you can feel the pulse. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and that tempo, okay? I'm just going to keep going all the way to the end of this, okay? So, yeah, this is minute 11, excuse me. 11 minutes into this video. If you want to practice lots here, 11 minutes is where this will be, allows you to practice over and over and over again. So be aware of that. I might try and chop this video up so that you can see that. Here we go. Ready? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, off. So that gives you a good idea of steady pulse. I was not perfectly in tune, I'm sorry. I tried to do a little bit of a crescendo and then pull back. And so you'll notice in measure 3 and 4, as well as in measures 6 and 7, you have this idea of starting, if I start soft at the beginning, it builds and then it pulls back and fades away. So there's a whole nother level of musicality to think about when you are learning something like this. You will also see FZs. Those are forzandos, excuse me. Forzandos, which is like basically a huge accent. So you see that accent, you know, like almost like the greater than sign. It's like that, but even more intense. So when you get to those notes, you want to pull a really fast bow, you know? Really want to pull as quick as you can and sustain. And then if you actually put on a metronome, you know, 100 is about one. Last comment that I'll give you about this is try and be musical in your audition. Try and go a tempo that allows you to play the notes with good tone and good intonation. And if for you that's yum bum 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 beam bum 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 beam bum 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 beam, do it that way. You have a much better chance of making it into symphonic if you play in tune with the correct rhythms and good tone than if you go fast and just don't do much. So go for good playing always. And then lastly, you know, I said one last comment, add vibrato if you can, you know, especially on those accented and long notes, you know, try and have your vibrato going to create as much tone as possible when you're playing. Good luck.